Welcome into the Ringerverse. This is, of course, the Ringers Nexus podcast feed for all things fandom. We are Jomi, the explainer, Adeniran. You've got questions. He's got answers. We are Steve, the architect, Ahlman, the builder and tinkerer of things. We are Old Man Van, he of the receding resurgent 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Hairline.
2 weeks.
Pretty resurgent right now.
We are Coke, Baby, Chuck, the 24-karat closer, a.k.a. the brunch hottie. We're joined by the Midnight Collective, Arjuna, the Watcher, Ramgopal, Helaena, the Mods, and Daenerys.
Definitely not here.
That LA is definitely not
Definitely
here.
not
It's
here.
not here.
Oh my, man, how much
man.
sleep have you gotten, bro?
Not a lot. For you guys who don't know, Van just got off a plane from Chicago.
The only one to make it out.
Only-
No more nicknames, bullshit. We got Jade behind the red table.
She's not like that.
Tough.
We are the Midnight Boys. Follow us on socials. Insta, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok for now. Save Jomi's job. Jomi?
Socials going great. Hey, 35K on Instagram. Shout out to you guys for making it happen.
We're now on YouTube. You can watch every Midnight Boys, House of R, and Talk the Throats episode on youtube.com/Ringerverse. Like, comment, and subscribe. Oh my God. This Tuesday, the House of R gives you their epic deep dive on the Hot D season finale. And this Thursday is going down. There's no more talk. The Giovanna Experience is back. Joanna and Van, who is me, will be giving you their long-awaited Last Jedi debate live on YouTube. Now, I got to say something here. Live, YouTube Live.
YouTube
I
Live.
got to say something here. There have been a lot of people that have been asking for Charles to be on this.
That's like a mediator?
Or just to have Charles. I don't really feel right getting into the arena with my partner in crime who would be against me. I don't know. A lot of people have been asking for Charles to get in this. Well, maybe we expand this. I don't know. Maybe it's Giovanna. Maybe it's Joe Chucka. Maybe it's Joe Midnighter.
I don't know how that
I don't know
sounds.
about
That
Maybe
doesn't
it's-
roll off the tongue.
No, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people have been like,
Chuck Vanna?
hey, we were Chuck Vanna or something like that, but we might keep it to just me and Joe. But a lot of people have been wondering what Charles, because Charles is you're a Last Jedi truther as well, right? You
Last
love it.
Jedi's in my top 3.
Yeah, you love it. We'll see what happens. Arjuna's like, oh no, we already promised the people. Arjuna, if we want to add Charles to it, then we add Charles to it. All right. And on Friday, Min Edition is back to discuss the latest season of The Umbrella Academy and Tales of TMNT. Now, what the fuck is happening on The Umbrella Academy right now? I completely forgot.
That's a great question.
That is a very good question.
You can...
The last one, they went back in time, right?
Yeah.
Going
There's
back in
a
time?
lot of timey-wimey stuff.
And then
Yeah.
At the end of season 3, they end up in their reality.
Yes.
Right? But it's different.
Yeah, but
So
it's a different reality,
that's-
and then they're going to have to, it's a soft reset.
they're going to have to go back in time again to change the timeline again.
Doc Brown's going to come out. He's like, we got to send you back to
Yeah.
season 1.
Season 4. That's
In
right.
season 4.
do they have the other people, the bad Umbrella Academy? Are they still on there? What were their names?
No, the Sparrow Academy, no.
Yeah, they got rid of them.
Yeah,
They got rid of them?
Yeah, it's tough.
Oh,
scene.
man.
It's it.
Hey, peace out, Sparrows. We fuck with y'all. On today's show, we're giving you our reactions to the season finale of Hot D. It's over. Guys, when I'm out of town, I tend to just hold up in hotel rooms with the blinds closed
Of course.
and just listen to lore.
Why are the blinds closed when you're listening
Oh
to
my God,
lore?
let me tell you something. I'll tell you right now, if I had blackout curtains at my crib,
I'm putting them on.
Oh,
I'm putting them
blackout
on.
curtains are the best.
if I had blackout curtains at my crib, it would be very difficult to get me to leave the house.
Mhm.
Like you exist in this weird realm where there's no time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's like
You're
time
on
goes
Howard Hughes
fast,
time.
Yeah.
but it moves slow. It's completely dark.
I agree.
You open up the blackout curtains and it's like, oh my God, civilization. But you don't know what time it is. It could be 3 a.m. It could be 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And all I'm doing is just lore. I listened to a whole 3-hour video about the Trident, about Robert's rebellion,
Oh.
and why. Can I tell you guys something about this? Because I never watched all them big ass books y'all read about Game of Thrones. I never read them.
Y'all.
Did y'all realize that the Mad King or whatever his name was.
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize how he was trying to fuck over Tywin Lannister? That's why Jaime Lannister is in the Kingsguard.
Mm.
Y'all don't want to know. You know what?
Not really. I'm here to talk about the season finale of Hot D, please.
Aries, man. You know what happens to the best of us.
Spoiler warning for all the Game of Thrones content that I am up on and the boys are not.
Okay, we didn't
run the spoiler warning right now, Steve.
right.
We're getting ready to talk about
House of the Dragon.
You're listening to a reaction podcast. The spoilers are coming. Chuck, Midnight Meter.
Midnight
Midnight Manifest.
Dog, you are glitching,
Yeah,
bro. You
Stuff.
good?
Stuff,
Yeah, I just got off the plane. Midnight Manifest. Please just do it. Have some compassion.
All right, there's your Midnight Manifest for the House of Dragon Season 2 season finale, The Queen Whoever Was, directed by Gita Van Sant Patel, written by Sarah Hess. Tywin Lannister gets punked by Admiral Shirako and the Triarchy as he struggles and ultimately prevails to get their ships and men. Larys impresses upon Aegon how important it is for them to escape to Braavos before the war begins between Aemon and Rhaenyra. The king takes Larys up on his offer after a short fight. Jace catches Ulf with his feet up on the furniture and puts the new dragon rider in his place. Meanwhile, in King's Landing, Damon starts tripping, and Alysanne has to stop her son from forcing Helaena to use Dreamfire in the coming war. Then Helaena tells the Prince Regent that he's about to die, so he can miss her with all that shit. After catching Kristen sniffing his mom's hanky, Gwaine flips the shit and challenges the knight, but Gwaine is freaked out by Kristen's sober realization that they're all destined to die under Dragonfire. Rhaenyra pulls up with Adam to Harrenhal, where she hears Damon is planning treason. And after having a vision at the Werewood Tree of the incoming winter and his part in the larger story, Damon finally vows his Riverland army and allegiance to Rhaenyra. Alysanne makes one last plea to Rhaenyra to stop the impending war, but Rhaenyra is like, Aegon gotta die, and Alysanne is like, damn, I'll leave the door open. Also, Rhaena finds her wild dragon, Alyn tells off Corlys, and Otto Hightower is in a cage. That has been your Midnight Manifest. A lot happened on this episode.
Yo! Charles,
Yes.
season 2 of Hot D is in the books.
You look crazy, man.
He looked like the Mad King.
You know, he really is
he
Mad
looked
King.
like-
Nah.
The Mad King Van.
This is the stuff, Lionel.
What do you think? What did you think about the finale? What did you guys think? How's everybody
I
feel?
think that this would have been a fine to like adequate episode at any other time in the season. And for this to be the season finale, there was a little bit of like, damn, like I was doing that thing where with the remote where you keep pausing, like, how much time do they have? When are they going to get to this battle? And then it's like, next time on House of the Dragon. So I didn't think that the episode was terrible. It just kind of left me wanting. And it felt like it almost confirmed my suspicions about the season, whether it was the strike or whatever, that maybe the pacing of this maybe wasn't always in the plan.
Jomi?
As an episode of TV, I liked it. I thought there was a lot of good stuff happening. I mean, oh my gosh. There was some acting, acting this episode between a whole bunch of characters that we'll get to later. But as a finale, like a season finale, not ideal. You know, like the Triarchy stuff feels tacked on.
What stuff?
The Triarchy stuff feels.
Why
a little
were we
tacked
with
on.
Lannister for like half the? I was like, bruh,
We don't need this.
Like, come on.
We don't need
I mean,
this right now.
it wasn't the most boring thing I've ever seen, but at the same time, we're like, we've seen so much stuff in these past like 7 episodes. We're like, okay, we want some payoff for stuff. And we got some payoff to some stuff. Damon, Rhaenyra, some Alysanne, Rhaenyra stuff. Like, there's some stuff that got paid off. But we spent a majority of this episode learning new stuff about the Triarchy and Thailand and Nessos. We're like, cool. I'm not bored by this, but we could have had this like an episode, 2 episodes earlier, and would have been fine. We need more stuff for the characters we know and love. I just think it's a good episode of TV, but as finale just doesn't quite work.
It's some of the best of Thrones, and it's some of the worst of Thrones, in my opinion. I think this as a finale feels wholly insufficient for what it wants to lead up to and finish a season on. But in the same breath, I can easily say that a lot of the character moments that were in this episode were exceptional sublime and like really carving out a lot of great character pairings that I'm really, really looking forward to for seasons to beyond this. I just really think that it really is losing its way when it comes to like wrapping up a season rather than being swept up in its own story and its own importance, if that makes any sense. Van, what do you think?
Well, I liked it. I thought it worked fine as the last episode of the season. From what I remember about Game of Thrones is that it would typically be the penultimate episode of Game of Thrones that would give you some of these huge moments.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the finale would always be kind of a temperature taker, not necessarily a table setter, but like almost a bow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing, and this is why I'm wondering how the Midnight Meter will go based upon some of our reactions to this. Some of the things that they did wrap up in this episode are things that they worked on. The question will be, did they pick the right things to wrap up on, right? You weren't going to get your big dragon battle and your big, huge battle because remember, unlike Game of Thrones that is 55 different schisms between various different houses, lands with histories, there's two groups of people fighting here.
Yeah.
Two groups. So you can't dip away for the red wedding and then go here with a different battle and then go here and then something's happening on the wall and then everybody, these are two different groups of people. So you can only have so many battles that you could show.
Yes.
Right? And with this being based on the specific civil war of this one group, if you're not dialed into what the characters want in this show, like emotionally, because this is the split of a family, then it's not ever going to feel like it gets to a place where it's grandiose without the dragons and shit. And let me tell you why I'm trying to say that, what I'm saying. The question is, Damon coming back to her at the end of this episode, if that doesn't work for you, the episode doesn't work.
Right.
So, but here's the thing. I thought that was one of the best scenes between Damon and Rhaenyra ever.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to be honest, the werewood shit, where they're kind of bringing in the long winter and we get shots of Dany and all this shit. And like, we get basically what I think is one of the worst choices in Thrones when Tyrion is like, this is all one big story. And Damon's like, I'm part of this story. I was like, did you need this? Because the scene that follows between him and Rhaenyra is so powerful. Him just being like, I have to do this because this is a longer story that I'm a part of, just felt like, it just felt weird.
I'm with Charles on this. I am.
I get it.
I don't.
I get it. But this is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that has to work for you. I'm not saying that it has to work for you. I'm saying that if it doesn't, then that's an indictment on the season as a whole. Because that's got to be a monumental moment. It's got to be a season finale-esque moment when he has everybody bend the knee to her and she's solidified, right? Because that's your big question is, are there going to be 2 or 3 different factions fighting?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, all of that stuff, Aegon leaving the castle, leaving the red, all of that stuff, you have to be bought into those characters and their story for that stuff to work. Like, it's a different show. It's not going to end with the big battle of the bastards and all of that. You're not going to get as much of that stuff. If seeing Rhaenyra and Alicent on the screen, if seeing Alyn and Corlys, if that stuff isn't working, that they're banking on you being as invested into these characters as you need to be to give you these big scenes for a finale. That's what their show is about. And if that's not working, then there's a chance that the whole season didn't work for you.
Well, I think it's more so that it wasn't like, to me, I got chills when Damon finally bends the knee. I was like, this is a very season finale-esque thing. It was more so I ended up wondering, I'm like, did we need all those episodes of him tripping in Harrenhal? Just like, because I'm just like,
I think we did. Because
I would simply support my wife without a ghost prophecy.
I know, but to be real, he was at Harrenhal for a while,
For
and
a
I'm just
minute.
like, I don't know. Like, it did. I've seen a lot of people be like, this felt more like a mid-season finale. I even think like the Alicent and Rhaenyra thing at the end, I'm like, this is great acting. Don't get me wrong. This is a great scene. This scene really doesn't make sense. Where it's like, you're telling me within the span of like however many times both of these women have snuck into each other's cake. Like, it's just like,
I think take to the Damon Allison or the Damon Rhaenyra point and the Rhaenyra Allison point, those are two relationships that are the crux of the show, right? And so while it made sense, and Joe made this point last time on Talk of Thrones, Damon and Rhaenyra have that big fight, episode 1. They go off. They literally don't see each other till episode 8 where they come together, right? It's like a full circle moment for them. And for this show, Rhaenyra and Allison, it's kind of the same thing, except for the fact that there's not really any coming together. Allison's like, look, you got to do what you got to do. You have to kill my son. I don't really want you to, but I kind of can't do this no more, right? Those connections, those relationships are the crux of the show, and they kind of have to talk. They kind of have to, communicate, because it'd be kind of weird if literally the show starts with us growing up with them, living their lives, and then Allison and Rhaenyra just don't talk for forever. Like, it doesn't make sense.
And something you just said, right, is indicative to me of what the show is trying to do. You just said that I would support my wife without having to have a vision, right? And I know that you were joking.
Sure,
but this is what the show is trying to do. It's not just his wife. It's his wife, it's his niece, it's the threat to what he believes his birthright is, it's his failure, it's his mortality, it's all of those things. That's what the show is about. The show is about, like, when Rhaenyra is talking to Allison and she's like, that's her brother.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, she's looking at her friend and saying, your son has to die. That's her brother, right? All of these things, when the guy, when he puts the sword up to
Gwen, yeah.
Yeah, and he's talking to Sir Christian. I mean, the show is essentially about the disintegration of a family. It's not that much different than, I don't know, any of the other things that you would have watched that are these family dramas, to where it's like, oh my God, at the end of this, somebody finds something out or two people come back together. It's not about dragons.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that means that this episode was good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that at all. I thought the episode was good. It worked fine as a finale for me, but I wasn't expecting. I thought the season has been so strong that it didn't need like a banger finale.
Yeah.
But for people who thought that there was going to be a massive battle in this one, if the show is about the battles, the show's not working for you.
I don't need a battle, but even like some of the stuff that was happening with like Ulf and the dragonriders, I'm just like, we didn't really spend enough time with these people and their dragons yet for them to basically,
if you'd had like a couple of more episodes.
Yeah, to know that Ulf's a dick now that he has a dragon, I'm like, that's a pretty quick.
Well, he's always kind of been like a...
but...
it was like...
power corrupting absolutely that quickly.
But when you hear him talking, though, when you hear him talking and he's essentially telling the stories, and then the first time they show him, he's being Craven. Like, when you hear him talking and he's talking about the fact that he's a Targaryen and the whole thing, and then all of a sudden they walk in and he shuts the fuck up.
Exactly.
And all of his hubris is gone right away. He's Craven. And so you would expect he's Craven when he's... I'm not trying to change you guys' opinion.
No, sure.
But when he's running, what's his dragon's name again?
Silverwing?
Silverwing.
Yeah.
When he's running from Silverwing, like he's being kind of cowardly. You can tell, like, it's in his DNA to kind of start feeling himself.
But it didn't seem a little like how he was acting. It was like funny. The comic relief was funny, but it was almost like he's cartoonishly villainous now. Where I do feel like in Game of Thrones, like, you could tell that someone was a villain, but they got a little bit more time on screen to be a fully realized character. And right now, Ulf is kind of like...
Which, by the way, like, I like the time that we've had leading up to this point. Like, we've gotten a taste of what he is, but to know that this is now going to be him until he's really, like, his character is actually challenged by these other big personalities that the Targaryens
but you guys
are putting in front
understand,
of.
like, this is what I'm trying to say. You guys understand what you're saying? And you're saying we don't know him well enough, but you don't like the version of him that you got.
No,
so like this is you knowing him.
Sure, yeah.
Like,
but here's the thing.
You never knew him before. Like you never knew him before. This is the first time you get. This is Ulf.
No, yeah, but
so why wouldn't it make sense?
Because I think the jump, just like acting wise, story wise, is it's like, all right, to your point. We introduce him at the bar. He's a little Craven. He's cowardly. He runs away from Silverwing. And then immediately it's just like the show is like blinking lights. They're just like, this is the fucked up one. Look at him. He doesn't respect Rhaenyra, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, this to me could have just been done with a little bit more sophistication for me to like buy this. Instead, it's just like they're just speed running through this fucking
I don't know.
We cooked.
I don't know because
We cooked as a watching society.
to Vince.
This-
No, wait. To Vince. Because think about it. He's the same guy. Imagine again, was living in slums, was going to the thing, shuts up when Aegon. He was talking all types of cash. Aegon strolls through, Mr. Straight Man. Now he's got a dragon. He's feeling himself like crazy. I'm the man. Who can tell me what to do? Jace come through. He's like, who's this boy? Actually, that's Jacaerys Velaryon. Oh, my fault, G. My fault, champ. All this, da-da-da. Then they're at the dinner with Rhaenyra. Oh, let me get those three birds. Hey, a knight would comport himself at the queen's table. Make me a knight then. A lot of dip on the boy's chip. We've known that from the jump. Now he's got a dragon. He can back it up to some extent. I don't see how that's too far of a stretch.
Back it up.
It's a fucking all right. I'm not gonna belabor this point. A lot of this episode, I didn't think the episode was bad. It was just a lot of yada 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 shit, and I was just like, oh, you either needed a couple more episodes to bookend this season, or just the way that you divvy up the pacing of this season. If we're gonna
two more, just add
if we're gonna end on the dragonriders, I would like to know a little bit more about the dragonriders once they have the dragons, and they're like, well, you'll get that in season 3, and I'm like, well, then they're just random. Even when Rhaenyra picks what's his face, Adam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Part of me was just like, wait, we haven't had enough time yet with Rhaenyra or Adam's relationship for me to even know why she's just like, all right, you.
Well,
right.
In episode 7, he bent the knee immediately, and she was like, "Are we cool? You going?" He was like, "I want to serve you." All this stuff. Had to pick somebody. She's not picking her son. She don't mess with him.
Why don't she pick the motherfucker with the second biggest dragon after Vhagar?
Vermithor, he don't know you like that. She just met you.
I will say, you know what question I have though? How long does it take to learn how to ride a dragon?
That's what I want to know.
Seems to
I'm
be.
just saying, the dragon's like an iPhone. It's pretty intuitive. It teaches you how to do it. That's the only thing I would ask. But I've been asking that for a couple of. So the dragon basically does all the work.
Basically. And you can be like, yo, Jacaerys, or, hey, we got to do this. You remember.
But do you know to say that?
Well, no, but you got to learn that. That's what.
But Rhaenyra was saying at the thing. She's like, all right, y'all don't got much time. Learn all the commands. We rolling out. And I'm just like, actually, what I want to see in this season is them training with their dragons. Because I'm like, before they fly off, hey, it can't be that easy to just get up on a dragon and learn how to fly and all this shit.
It obviously is.
It's the biggest.
It obviously is.
A training montage for
it obviously is. Danny, remember, was a Drogon, right?
Yeah.
Drogon was in there tripping. All of a sudden, Drogon goes, "Hey, mom!" And Danny gets up there, and all of a sudden, Danny doing donuts on that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Just
I don't know.
burning
Jon
niggas
Snow
up.
got up on that fucking dragon, and he wasn't doing so. He's like, this is a little shaky. You know what I'm saying?
It's the
so what's
biggest
the truth?
non-important nitpicking question, but I'm like, how do you get the saddles on?
Of the
Who
dragons?
puts the saddles on them?
Well,
For wild, untamed dragons,
the
Vermithor had a saddle on him.
dragon keepers, right?
Dragon keepers probably do it.
Probably
You see those big
Exactly.
the sticks that they have?
Yeah, those very
sticks.
effective sticks.
Very
Sticks
effective.
keep away.
Hey.
I gotta say something real quick. Y'all, there's a lot of hating on these dragon keepers. And it's all valid. I don't understand. It's the weirdest and worst job. They could do a whole show about them.
I can make a worse play for Orwyle having the worst job in Westeros.
Who?
Orwyle.
Who is Orwyle?
Maester Orwyle.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Not a great job.
Not a great job.
Specifically his job.
Yeah, healing people with cabbage is not
Great.
Yeah.
Hey, can you smuggle me across the river? I need to talk to Rhaenyra. Oh, that person we're at war with? Sure, I guess.
Split open like a burnt sausage.
If we're gonna be really positive, though, I think one of the best scenes and also the funniest scenes was Sir Criston Cole. This motherfucker was smelling the I was just like, hey, bro.
No, I have the quote.
He loves her.
Desire for women has brought me nothing but grief after grief. If that's not a future sample, I don't know what
man.
it is.
But also, it was like, Gwen comes over and he's about to kill this motherfucker. And Criston Cole's like, damn, nothing really matters. We all about to die. and Gwen's like, damn, he's
Bro, this nigga spitting.
Yeah,
Right.
he sits down like I can't even argue with you, man.
He gamed the shit out of him. He was already coming over hey, yo, you fucking my sister? Yeah, but let me tell you why
By
it
the
don't
way,
matter.
in front of
That's exactly what he did. It's like, you fucking my sister?
Everybody.
Yeah,
Worst kept secret of Westeros.
Like, hey, like, think about that. Somebody come up.
Watch yourself.
Okay. Think about that.
Go on sleep, man.
Somebody come up to you and they say, yo, man, are you fucking my sister? And they be like, yeah, but that's the least of your problems. Have a seat. Let's talk about this real quick.
Let's talk about life.
He won. I thought that was what I like to see. I think for me, what I needed was, because for me, there had been a lot of things that questions have been answered throughout the season. To me, that's what a season of television does. It asks questions and then it answers questions. A season finale has to ask more questions because it has to get you to come back. So it has to ask more questions. So the questions that were asked in the season, the biggest ones were the question about how are they going to get the dragonriders themselves, right? Where they were going to come from. That was answered before. Damon and Rhaenyra's relationship, how that was going to shake out. Was there ever going to be the confrontation between Corlys and Alyn? I have been waiting for that.
Oh, that was so good.
I've been waiting for that for at least, because they keeping it cool. But every time they have an interaction, Corlys goes just a little bit further, right? He gets a little bit more comfortable with him. He gets a little bit more familiar with him to where he slightly starts to try to parent him. And I'm thinking to myself the whole season, when is he going to have enough of this? Like, and watching him finally break after he goes, I'm trying to help you, I thought it was a powerful scene, like a really powerful scene.
Yeah, no.
They start off talking, it's this unspoken, unsaid thing, and then he gets to the point where it's like, look, I'm not trying to hear this from you.
I mean, it did break my heart when he was just like, hey, yo, look, I had to see your actual kids running through with the furs, getting sweets. I was starving. I'm like, my man been waiting to say this shit his whole time.
He had it in the tuck.
Yeah, he was
ready.
That was his monologue.
It was like a list. He's like, all right, this how you ain't shit. This how you ain't shit. Fuck you. Fuck your mama. Fuck everything. I was like, God damn.
And there was something that was unsaid in that whole thing. Them kids was light-skinned.
Yeah. When he said you got the furs, I'm like, he make you light-skinned.
It was something that was unsaid. This was that whole scene was really the Wesley Snipes versus Shamar Moore back and forth that went on in the 90s when Wesley came out on top. You know what I mean?
No.
Okay, so it was all about light-skinnedness, right?
Okay.
It was Christopher Williams. It was Albie Shore. You know, Chocolate Brothers was down bad.
Tough.
You know what I'm saying?
Tough.
Like, it was down bad. And then Wesley came out, Passenger 57, like, always been on black, kicking, punching. Then he was in dramas. And man, dark-skinned brothers, we started taking over the rest of the 90s. Denzel chose a side because he's kind of in the middle.
But all right, Ben.
But I'm telling you, when Alyn was watching them kids,
no, he was hot.
He was like, look at them cream-colored motherfuckers over there with these sweetmeats. Yo, straight up, hey, what's going on with the sweetmeats? You gotta pass the paper bag test and get some sweetmeats or what? We got some sweetmeats over here. And the whole time, he's looking at his dad, and he thinks his dad likes these kids because they light-skinned. I'm telling you, that's a part of it.
I mean, also, but
colorism in Westeros.
He did get his lick back where he's like, hey, yo, why would I even want to be your son? Your light-skinned son died. Your light-skinned daughter died. Your wife died. I was like, God damn.
You suck, Dad. Bro, I love that shit. I love that whole scene. Because, Corlys.
Somebody got to take over behind
that. I'm not one of them, I'm still your father type niggas.
Clearly.
You got to put the work in. You know what I'm saying?
Be there.
It's like, hey, I ain't seen you in 19 years. I'm still your father, and you will respect me. I kick you in your ass, nigga.
But to be fair, Corlys is getting mixed messages because the other son is like, hey, I'm in the castle now. All that shit is in the past. Like,
they both gonna come back to Corlys. It's gonna be one happy dark skinned family. It's gonna be. They all coming back to. It's gonna end up. But once again, all just aside, I thought that scene was
Real powerful.
Was really powerful. I mean, I guess there have been certain aspects of the show that I haven't bought into. Aegon and Larys.
I don't know. I thought that scene
like
worked.
them.
That scene
I mean,
really
it
worked.
I kind of don't care what happens to Aegon. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Ever since he got burned, I'm like,
Jesus
I mean,
Yeah,
that's what the
Christ.
entire realm is like.
But I
Yeah.
like the idea of oh my goodness,
Larys?
yes, building him back up from nothing.
Mm.
I like that he sees a little bit in him while also playing to his own ends and wanting to position himself in the annals of power a bit more, but also using that as a connection point for somebody who is broken. And he wants to build up and like make trust. And it's like, we got to get the fuck out of here. You're going to die at the hands of your brother.
Mhm.
And all this is fucked right now. You got to like lay in the cut for a minute and come back.
I ain't gonna hold y'all. Larys wasn't talking about shit. Like, I'm not about to like go get up in this wagon, travel for thousands upon thousands of miles.
Or do what?
He was like, when you come back, you gonna be the greatest. Da-da-da-da. I'm like, Larys, get the fuck up.
As opposed to what now?
The thing with Larys is there's, a whole bunch of mystery. Who, like, is he in it for himself, or is he actually looking out for somebody? But there's always a kernel of truth in there. And the kernel of truth is that Aemon's gonna kill him. Like, he survived the dragon fire, he survived Rook's Rest. Aemon's gonna come back and finish the job.
Yeah.
We all know that's true. If you stay here, Aemon will kill you. And even Aegon was like, guy's got a point. I can't really make my own decisions at this point.
Yeah.
I gotta make the call.
I don't know if you've
Aemon's-
heard.
I mean,
I know
but-
exactly.
but
in
There's 3 new
fairness-
dragons. It's looking bad.
Aemon was running around doing a whole lot of nothing in this episode.
He was sunned.
He was just fucking scared as fuck when he went to
real
Helaena.
crash out after he
Yeah,
burns
the
the whole
Helaena
city.
shit. How you gonna have Helaena boss up on you? She
That's
like, get the fuck
crazy.
up out my face.
Helaena
You're about
is
to die.
I
doing
just
her
want to
thing.
be alone with my bugs.
Honestly, Helena's the smartest one out of all of
Oh
them.
my
I'm
God,
like,
yes.
I'm like, my ass is not getting up on the street.
I don't
She's
ride no
playing-
dragons. I don't burn no people. I am here to talk to my bugs and die. That's it.
And do my witch stuff.
it's funny what you say about Larys, right? And the fact that he uses the truth. And that's kind of a hidden theme of the show. Because like someone who can lie to get what they want is dangerous. Someone who can use the truth to get what they want is powerful. And those are two different things. And like Helaena is powerful.
Oh yeah.
She's a powerful character. She knows, because she's such a blank slate, she really knows what everybody has going on.
Yeah.
But she's not angling for anything. And because she's not, everyone has a different relationship with her. Like, Aemon finally went too far. Why? Because he attacked her. She then and that wakes Alicent up. Like, oh my God, if this particular person is in trouble, if we've gotten to the point to where we are even failing to protect her, who doesn't want any of this stuff, then we know that things have gone too far. Then when she's talking to him, she's like, what you gonna do? So what you gonna do? You gonna burn me up the same way you did him? You gonna
and the most important thing, it won't change anything.
yeah, who she knows she's the only one that is completely resigned to whatever happens. Everybody else has a specific way that it has to go for them or they lose. She doesn't have that. She's the only one that's kind of just living.
And she knows what's gonna happen.
She be
and
walking it up.
she told Aemon, she was
Yeah.
like, hey man, the God's eye, you disappear, nobody ever sees you again. He's like, cool, can you still ride this dragon? Like, I mean, and then
Ride
even
this
in the
dragon.
scene before, she's talking to Damon through Alice, through the werewood, whatever. Like, she's got a lot going on in terms of her positioning in the story. She sees everything laid out. She's kind of like, hey, look, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. If whether I live, whether I die, that changes nothing in the story.
And to me, this is like, if I want to expand on this, this is kind of what I get very frustrated with when Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, this IP in general kind of starts to like get high on its own supply a little bit when it comes to prophecy and I called it metagaming its own narrative, where it is so aware of like the big grandiosity of the story that it's telling that all characters seem to be caught up in is talking about doing those things rather than a story being told. And I feel like that's what I get tripped up on an episode like this, where characters seem to only be actually motivated by importance of prophecy. And unless that's very well laid out to me, I don't connect with it at all.
I couldn't agree more. There's too much prophecy shenanigans going on. I'm like, the interesting part of this series.
There was very little of it, though.
No, but we have the entirety of Damon's arc being the only reason that he will now bend the knee to Rhaenyra is because he has been given this grand vision, basically Aegon the Dreamer's vision of the Song of Ice and Fire.
But this is after like 50. By the way, I'm not saying that that's wrong, but I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
No,
cut you off.
it's more so it's like when they start going into the prophecy and they start using the prophecy sometimes to spackle over and explain away shit, that's where I'm just like, from what I've heard, a lot of this is a show invention, where I'm just like, the interesting crux of this show is how this family disintegrates and them fighting over a throne and all of the small folk in the realm having to be fodder for that. When you start throwing in, well, this one is now on this side because they finally saw the prophecy and they know the Night King is coming and they saw Dany. I'm just like, I already know that this show is connected to Game of Thrones. I already know winter is coming. To me, I'm like, do I buy that Damon is like his whole character changes just because he has a vision?
No.
I don't know.
Well, he had multiple visions.
I was about to say it wasn't one vision though.
And by the way,
if he'd have had one vision,
sure.
If he'd had one vision, his visions have been increasingly fucking with his head.
Yeah.
To the point.
He's been stripping his ego away,
like
and then
completely fucking with his head to the point. That's why I'm saying, and we've talked about it. That's what I'm saying. Either you buy what's been going on with Damon, or you kind of don't, because these visions have been not just this, been also getting more personal. They've had more depth. They've been getting weirder. It's his mother. It's his brother. It's the end of his life. It's all of these things. Even when he said, this place will have you barking at the moon. He seems pretty resigned to whatever's going on in Harrenhal and how it's affecting him. So by the time he gets to the vision that he has in the finale, it seems to be the one that made all the other ones kind of make more sense.
Right.
And either you believe in that or you kind of don't.
And I think for the most part I do.
And maybe they didn't, and maybe they didn't make it work. Maybe they didn't.
No, for
maybe
sure.
They didn't tell a good enough story.
But like it just felt so indicative of late stage Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
To where this by all means, this season finale is much better than anything that the end parts of Game of Thrones did when it comes to like believing its own prophecy in the story and yada yada. That's fine. But like it's such a trigger for me when it comes to Game of Thrones, like activating their characters because of something that isn't fully materialized to them, rather than being activated by the things and stakes that are in front of them.
Like what would have done that for Damon?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm not saying that I don't like this turn for Damon, because I feel like this was ultimately worthwhile. But when we have so many characters like the Helenas of the world also in the ears of those other people, I'm starting to feel like, okay, I understand that the strings of fate and all of these things can be interesting themes to pull on, but stripping characters of their agency too much, in my opinion, will start to lose me.
Because here's the thing that doesn't actually make a lot of sense to me is when in the penultimate episode, Damon already kind of understands that he is not meant to rule. Like, he's like, the River Lords damn near, he gets punked in front of them, and like they bend the knee to him, but nobody believes that he's king. They're following him because they're just like, all right, we made this promise to Viserys, and Viserys named Rhaenyra and all this stuff. Once Rhaenyra comes back and he learns you rose up an entire dragon army, what is Damon gonna really do? When all the other River Lords are just like, we're not bending the knee to Rhaenyra. I'm like, I get that you could maybe say that like, oh, they don't really like believe in her as queen or whatever. But I'm just like, they didn't believe in Damon either. So like, why now are they all like, we're not doing shit until I'm like, y'all don't respect him.
He was the one that put the work in the Riverlands to like, okay, they follow me. Who do I follow?
But
okay, my wife's here. We're gonna.
Maybe I'm misreading it. They don't like Damon. He's fucked up so much that they're like, he's committed war crimes here. We get it, but we're only following you. because of our promise to Viserys.
I think that's ultimately true. I think we're missing a big thing here is that this entire everything, the books, the movies, or the books, the TV shows, all of it is about the prophecy. Is about A Song of Ice and Fire. That's where it all starts. That's how things have to move. I don't know what to tell you.
That's the single
driving.
Hold on, that right there, the misreading, a prophecy misread could have been.
Sure.
Like that is the single driving force to this entire feud.
And I know that this is a bit more of a personal beef that I have by these books not being finished.
Fire and Blood is finished.
Yes, Fire and Blood is technically finished.
Yeah.
Song of Ice and Fire is not.
Yes.
Not technically.
And Fire and Blood is technically a third, fourth, and fifth hand account of in-canon characters that were not there with their own biases and unreliable narrators, et cetera, et cetera. And the dramatic nuance and character development that is left in the margins for the readers and audience to surmise by themselves are filled in by the show. And the things that we don't really jive with or aren't really fabricated enough to what we think is plausible start to lose me a little bit.
I'm going to be honest, it's corny when once Damon wakes up, he's like, I'm part of a bigger story. I'm like, all right, get this shit out of here, bro. Like,
but again, not to take away how very amazing that scene with him and Rhaenyra was.
No, the scene is amazing, but it's some Bran Stark shit where I'm like, bro, I didn't watch this show all this time for them to be like, I'm part of a never-ending story.
So you know what you're missing then?
Sure.
You're missing, once again, it's the battles. There are not enough battles. Because
I don't think so.
Listen, because if Damon would, a lot of Jon Snow becoming a badass motherfucker that everybody knows that they could follow is because you saw Jon Snow get busy.
Right.
You saw Jon Snow get busy. You saw, like, Jon made good decisions, Jon made bad decisions. But you saw Jon, like, get busy. You saw Jon in conflict, like, earn the respect and the trust of the people that have followed him, and a lot of that happened with Jon with a sword in his hand.
But also,
some of it didn't.
But we as the audience also knew him in between those.
But a lot of that happened with Jon with a sword in his hand. Right?
But guess what? When Jon was fighting the Night King or all these CGI fucking ice zombies or whatever, the emotional crux of that wasn't the fights or the battles. The emotional crux is like, okay, he was basically sent by his family to the wall. He has spent all this time with the wildlings. He's seen all this thing. He's built this family. And now he realizes not only is this family in trouble, the family that sent me here is in trouble and the realm is in trouble. And I'm like, so when it starts to get all prophecy as shit, the thing that brings me back to it isn't like the Battle of the Bastards. It's like, oh, like Jon is one of the only characters who's thinking of the greater good. For Damon, I'm just like,
it's the inverse. For Damon, Damon, he is one of the only characters from the black. He's one of the only characters with the blacks who's thinking about only himself.
Yeah, sure.
Now you can make an argument that they're all kind of thinking of themselves, right? All of these people think that they have the right to rule over all of these people's lives.
No one's nearly as flawed as Damon is.
But he is thinking only about himself. He's thinking about his trauma that he's experienced, the fact that his brother didn't quite believe in him. That's kind of the situation between him and Rhaenyra, is that she was chosen to lead by the only person whose opinion mattered to him, right? And he chose her not because he didn't love him, but because he wasn't with the whole blow up. So he goes away and literally tries to do it all on his own until he realizes, I'm just not that big of a deal. And once again, I'm not saying, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that what they did worked, because it can only work for the people who are watching it. What I'm saying is they executed it in that we stayed with Damon at times where I wasn't really giving a fuck about what was going on with Damon.
For sure.
We saw Damon being powerless. We saw Damon being confused. We saw Damon, he was in insomnia, didn't know what was going on. He has been in the wilderness this whole episode, and this whole season, and what he finally realized in this episode is that he actually doesn't matter unless he's serving her.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's what he comes. He really doesn't matter.
But he should have figured that out. Like, because here's the thing: it's like putting a hat on a hat. My motherfucker should have figured that out when he was talking to his brother in the last episode, and his brother is basically telling him all of this shit about the crown. And like, I was like, oh, they're doing it one more time, and I was just like, once again, the scene. But I'll put it to you this way: the scene between Rhaenyra and Damon was actually so powerful. I don't actually know if the werewood shit did anything for me, because I was just like, him bending the knee and them talking in High Valyrian and all that shit. I was just like, emotionally, I get it now. Like, he doesn't want to do this thing. His pride is still in the way. But like, he realizes in that moment when her fucking dragon is on top of them, he's like, all right, I gotta bend the knee.
The sheep dragon is out there being himself. That nigga killing
The
sheep.
fucking
stealing sheep.
I love that dragon because he's like,
Hey, man.
he's nuts.
The two things that lost me, the Triarchy and Rhaena. I like Rhaena a lot. Cutting back to her.
Stop, bro.
What was she doing?
She's about to go
Did
get
she have a snack or a
Yeah,
bottle
she
of
was
water or
sleeping.
something out
She
there?
didn't have
She's-
no plan. She didn't bring any like potatoes with her, some meat.
She going out there she's going to get their dragon, man.
running to get that thing.
And
She
thankfully,
want a dragon. She feels a connection to the
And she
dragon.
abandoned them white kids. She's like, y'all be
Y'all
be
easy.
I'm about to get this dragon.
I was like, all right, man. I kind of feel like we didn't need to go back to that. I could have been like a 12-second scene like near the end where it's like, oh, she found sheep stealer. Cool. Let's keep it pushing. I didn't.
Also, what was going on with Otto? They showed Otto just like
We could have.
Locked up.
I was like, y'all could have spent a little bit more time with Otto. I want to know
Where
he's
is
up to.
he?
No wonder he wasn't returning their letters, bruh. You know what I mean? He was locked up.
They put my nigga Otto in the bank.
Locked
up, they
can't
won't let me out.
Locked up.
They won't let me
out.
out.
Locked up.
Oh.
Registration.
Man, 2010's Aegon was great.
That early 2000s.
That whole run. That whole
Great run.
Hey, another one. Team Deep Black.
Hey, that's right.
Aegon has since had some issues. He's had some
Yeah,
trouble.
we don't need to get into him.
I mean, not nothing bad. He just say dumb shit.
What happened with Akon?
He just says a
What?
lot of dumb shit.
I wasn't.
But he got them hits though.
What happened with Akon?
Nothing. He just says a lot of dumb shit. Sometimes he comes at we remember he said something about Black American entertainers or something like that. Oh man, shout out to the Diaspora Wars, man. We've been going up the last.
Yo, the
couple days. Yo,
Olympics?
bro,
Olympics is great.
Shout out to the
We need the
Diaspora
Olympics
man.
more. We need the Olympics
We've been
more.
going
Chill out, bro.
up the last couple of days.
Oh my goodness!
It is nothing like watching two groups of colonized people argue. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've been going.
Oh my god!
I actually was chill on it until I realized it was actual real
It was
smoke.
beef. It was beef.
It was actual real beef. Like,
There
they
was real
mad.
beef fatties in these streets, bro.
My boy Noah Lyles, he got the chest over and everybody going crazy.
Lost they
Fuck
minds.
you. Y'all can't eat no more fried chicken. Y'all can't eat no more jerk chicken.
Great. That was insane. Like,
Wow. Okay.
that was
I like,
nuts.
hey, man, we all black. That's all I'm saying. We all black.
What'd you
man.
guys think of the Triarchy stuff?
We
Wait,
simply
why?
didn't need.
We not all black,
We
Joe?
are all black, but we got to get back
This
to the
is
episode.
Why?
this is what
This
you
is-
try to do.
Oh,
It is what you're trying to do. Sow division, Joe.
Wait, Jomi,
Guys,
you're actually
we're on the same
not.
team. No,
You're
we're on the
Are we
same
not?
team.
Oh,
We not
Jomi.
like-
We're on the same
oh,
team.
not like
Chuck,
y'all?
Chuck, what
I
up?
want to be very clear. We're on the same team. We're on the same team.
Nah, we not.
Nah,
We're on
man.
the same
Nah.
team.
Nah, it's cool. Stay over there. Stay over
This is what
there.
you trying to do. You trying to divide
Now
us.
you
you
try to
did.
take our culture.
They trying to
You know what
divide
I'm
us.
saying?
Trying to
But
take
it's
our
fine.
like,
No,
you over here, you
We
want to
went
listen to
to
hip hop?
they gave us scraps and we
Yeah,
made
yeah,
gold.
To their
Nah, it's
stuff.
cool.
Don't
Feeding
do
into it.
that.
Okay, Jomi.
We're a team.
Let me find out that some of your people was the one making some of them transactions.
Other side.
Making some of them
Yo,
transactions.
me and man looking through those records, we like, yo, where are you generals, bro?
Jomi, great.
All
Hey,
right.
yo, I trade you 4 niggas for a goat. What's up? I got 4 of them.
We had goats.
We captured
didn't
them.
trade a goat.
Yeah, but they probably had different goats in Europe.
Yeah.
Steve, bro, everywhere your people went, just havoc. I was watching.
It's not a great run.
What's your makeup, Steve?
Yeah.
Where's my family from?
No, yeah, like what's your
Gotta be Irish,
German
right?
and Italian.
Oh, that's not
And-
that's not a good mix.
Yeah.
That's
By
a
Italian
that's
side,
a
living in
1939 no-no right there, baby.
Yeah.
That's not That's not a good mix, Steve.
No.
You should have came up with some different shit, Steve. That's some fascism. Anyway,
Man,
not great.
Team Green motherfuckers, bro. Woo.
Tough.
Damn.
who at this table, who would be Team Green and who would be Team Black?
Oh, you already know.
It's black, man.
You Team Green?
Well, they more interesting to me.
Oh, you like the green team?
Team Green
better?
is fun.
They're
It's
fun
kind of
because
fun.
they fucked up. Here's the thing. Also, Rhaenyra, I'm gonna be honest, she do got the better team. Aemon's back is against the wall, but she also filled her team some scrubs, bro. Ulf is a scrub.
And Aemon's turning the whole of the Red Keep just like into a catwalk because he's just walking around the castle just mad. Like,
Talk about Aemon real quick. Aemon wants to be, he hasn't gotten to me to, and I don't know if he needs to, but I was wondering, was he going to get to Joffrey Ramsay level heel?
No.
Was he going to get there? Is he on his way to that? Because
Game left. A lot of
he
game left.
burning niggas up. Oh, you don't care?
No,
Look,
no,
look,
no,
hold on.
I'm
Did
thinking.
you
I'm
see
thinking.
that? He burned up a whole village of people. Did you see Steve's face? He was like, he burnt them up.
That's
No,
Like,
no,
yo,
no,
they
it
gonna
wasn't
carry
that.
burning
Show me
people
some-
up.
show me
like,
some real villainy.
The reason that we hate Joffrey is because he talks all this shit and nobody can do anything to him.
No.
Nobody can check
We
him.
hate him because he's cruel.
Yes, and he's cruel, but it's the fact that like Joffrey never saw anybody as an equal, and I don't think Aemon thinks that either. But he was at least aware of the threats and dangers that came of him. Like when he ran away from all those dragons, he took it out on other people, but he was aware of something. Like I feel like
You're saying that Aemon is more capable than Joffrey.
absolutely.
But okay, so Ramsay is more capable than either one of them.
Well, Ramsay never had Ramsay had dragons. Jesus Christ.
Ramsay was the fucking man.
No, yeah. If Ramsay had
could
dragons,
fight.
he'd be a
Remember when
demon.
Ramsay came out there and he had the knives? He was like, I was like, he about to get fucked up. He did not get fucked up.
Here's the thing,
Like-
Ramsay
Yeah.
though, I don't know if they'll ever make anybody as evil as Ramsay. That was like
So
that
he
was
was doing
yeah,
a
no,
lot.
you
Ramsay was doing a lot.
You have
Ramsay was
Joffrey
built
as,
different.
so we have let's rank them. So we have Joffrey as we have Ramsay as more evil than Joffrey at this table.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
by the later seasons of Game of Thrones, I'm like, motherfuckers don't get this motherfucker out of here, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, y'all gotta get
I was sick of him, bro.
I was like, hey,
sick of
John,
him,
yo,
bro.
handle this shit, bro.
When Sansa spit the dogs on him?
Oh,
bro.
man.
Okay, so
That
let's
messed
look
up
at
with me.
let's look at Aemon's accomplishments as being he killed a child, burned him out of the
On
sky.
accident, though.
Was it kind of was it?
Yeah,
it
he
kind of
kinda
was.
It was kind of an accident.
You look at Vhagar, right? Remember last episode? He sees 3 dragons. He's kind of like, hey, we can't mess with it. Vhagar's like, hey, where's the smoke at, bro?
Yeah.
What you trying to do? You know, Vhagar, she about that action. You know, I feel like Aemon's a little bit more not callous, but a little more like cautious.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In terms of like, we probably can't do that. Vhagar's the one who really wants to smoke. So I guess to your point, I feel like he's not quite there as a villain because there's still there's a smidgen of humanity in there.
See, I feel
Pragmatism.
like a
What has he
smidgen.
done? Like, I know he's done like evil shit.
He's kind of starving King's Landing. He's kind of doing that.
Doesn't care about starving the people.
yeah.
Burned his brother off of
Right.
a dragon.
Okay.
I mean, I think a lot of the stuff, because we met him when he was so young,
Mm-hmm.
I really do think that we trauma pain for him and we go, oh my God, we know what he's been through. Even his mom went, when are you going to lose all of the stuff that happened to you as a kid? But when you look at it,
Yeah.
when you just stack it up, I mean, Joffrey was fucking just a bad seed from the beginning.
jump.
But when you stack it all up, he's got some, he's not on their level yet, but he's got some accomplishments.
Also, Joffrey was like terrorizing like Sansa and like characters that we actually cared for. With like Aemon, it's like it wasn't until this episode
Yeah.
he did that shit to Helaena, and like Helaena is not Sansa, and like Helena's able to be like,
She's the queen.
yeah, like I'm the queen. Like there's only so far you're gonna go. Burn me if you want. Nothing will change.
Yeah.
Where I think Aemon has not done. He has not done that one deed that would put him in the Joffrey Ramsay level for me as a viewer, where it's like totally fuck him. Because the show actually does a brilliant thing where it's like this entire season, it's like, damn, how they gonna stop Vhagar? How they gonna stop Vhagar?
Yeah.
And then by the end of this, I'm just like, how's Aemon gonna stop all those dragons over there? And now I'm fascinated because I'm like, Team Green, what? They got like 3 dragons?
Yeah.
And one of them don't even want to fly. Jim Fire's like parked. We see Tessarion at the end there. So it's really 2. against like what 8 at this point?
Sir Kristen Cole at this point is just like, hey man.
Which, by the way, don't you remember when we all hated him at the beginning of the season?
No,
and now we're like,
whoa
there, buddy. Whoa there, 1939.
The worst person you know had a good point.
Yeah,
that's it. He had one good point.
Those characters can be compelling.
That's still my op.
I'm not saying
There's-
right or
I'm
good
gonna hold
or redeemable. I'm saying
Let's hold
interesting.
on.
Sir Kristen Cole was spitting. I was just like, this is my man now. That
might-
nihilism shit. Like, hell yeah.
He might have changed though. The way he was getting this shit off, just fucking sharpening the sword, cleaning the whatever he was on. He might have changed.
I mean, it was the sickest shit. It was some future shit where it's like, he's like, damn, the only joy I get is sniffing this handkerchief.
Which,
By
by the
the
way,
sword doesn't mean nothing. He puts the sword back down.
and cleans it
clean
with
it.
that same rag.
Polishing that shit. He
Which,
like,
by the way,
none
he's been
matters,
cleaning
bro.
that. He's been cleaning it with that rag since we saw it with the lemons.
Look, man.
So he's been smelling that blood. He hasn't been smelling her. He's been smelling that blood.
Hey, whatever it takes, bro. Sometimes you just need your imagination. You know what I mean? He's down bad. Clearly the man has problems.
You just need what, Joe?
You need to use your imagination.
Use your imagination.
For what?
Sex
Whatever.
positive podcast, Joe.
So talking.
Is it?
Look.
So,
That point-
Jomi, what you saying is you just jack off raw with nothing playing in the background, like nothing. You
There's some
just
serial killer ass shit, bro.
that's nuts.
That's
Of
some
all
serial
the
killer ass shit.
Bro, you mean to tell me somebody just in their room with their eyes shut, just like that's
Jacking off raw is like
No
the worst
jargons,
thing
no
we've
nothing,
ever.
just using your mind.
Those
just
are the worst 3
dr-
words we've ever said on the
dry
podcast.
and
in
imaginary.
sequential order.
You can't, Jomi. I'm gonna be honest
That's
with you, bro.
crazy.
Jomi, if I
That's
found out
nuts.
that you're doing that, I'm gonna go talk
I'm
to
locking
somebody.
you up, bro.
Bro, that's it, bro. It's too
Get
much.
him on a list.
Say that
But see, I could see if it was. I could see if it was like
Said it to
I don't
Guantanamo
know.
Bay.
It's like summer camp back in the day or something, and everybody's
Christ
left the cabin,
alive.
and y'all ain't got no Wi-Fi, nothing. But it's really no reason to do that. It would have to be a choice now, Jomi.
Man, so the Triarchy, guys.
You said it.
Yeah, Joe.
I just want to let people know this is my problem. Jomi said it. Jomi said sometimes.
Christian Cole.
Jomi said
Christian
sometimes.
Cole.
you just
Cover
use
your soul.
This
Just
is my
use
question.
your soul. Just use your
Jomi,
imagination, bro.
Jomi rubs his sword and he uses his imagination.
Insanity, bro.
That's a new nickname. like that's a new nickname. Jomi uses his imagination, bro. Jomi, you sick. That's what's being hidden under there, bro.
under all of it. All
That
of
shit
it.
started when you was in San Diego for college.
Wow.
I need you guys to relax.
You said it.
There's a lot going on. For Christian Cole.
You
Had nothing to do with me.
You didn't
For
say
Sir-
some. You
for
didn't say
Sir Crispy Cole.
You didn't say sometimes Christian Cole uses his imagination. You said sometimes
you gotta
you gotta use your imagination.
This is why you get bricked
You-
up in
this
the
is the
theater.
Why you
responsibility
getting
of
bricked up in the
language.
theater? This is why you getting bricked up in the theater.
You turn to
sick.
Steve, you like, just use your imagination.
Fuck, bruh. Jomi, you're sick. Dog, you are sick, bruh. Nah, you need help. I'm serious.
There's a lot
I'm
going
serious.
on. There's a lot going on.
I see why everybody like tries to come down on me.
There's a lot
Because
going
I'll
on.
just admit it. I'll have 30 tabs open. Like
30 is insane.
30
I'll
tabs.
have
You don't need 30
tabs.
tabs.
Bruh. Boy, I wish. 'Cause I can show you the tabs. I have 30 tabs open.
Don't need 30 tabs.
Bro,
You need
I have 30 tabs,
for
bro.
it.
I have 30 tabs, right? Because I got
That's just ADHD.
I got ADD. I get bored quick. All right, they ain't hitting on nothing. Move on. Ain't hitting. Or
Can you use the same tab?
you'll be in the video, and then you'll see a suggested video under, and you'll be like, oh shit.
Christ alive.
What did
Open
you
a
say?
new tab.
What did you say? Your
Jesus.
stepfather isn't home?
All
Anyway.
right.
Jesus
Let's move on.
It's funny. It's funny. You know what's funny to me? I'll get off this after this. But it's funny that, we're watching a show. Steve's obviously uncomfortable. We're watching a show, and the show is, like literally, guys, just to let people know, everybody who's going to go to the Midnight Boys or getting horny, like 4 episodes ago, Damon fucked his mother. I'm just saying. I mean, not Damon. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
4
he did.
episodes ago.
It
he
was a
had,
dream, but
He
it was a
had
dream.
he-
Yeah. It was a dream.
It was a dream.
It was hallucinating.
All right, man. All right.
All right, brother.
You freaky ass me.
Yeah, y'all fans, bro.
Come on, bro. Let's get to
As
the
if that
main
makes it.
idea.
Let's.
What?
Hey,
I'm not
nah,
saying it
let's
makes
get
it
out of here.
better.
No,
Y'all-
you
all right.
definitely said it made it better.
It's not better. Just, it was a dream. It
Is that
didn't
what
actually
your
happen.
imagination is doing over
Oh
there,
my
Joe?
God, Jomi. This is a bad Jomi episode. This didn't work out. We so far off the path, And it's because of Jomi. This is a bad Jomi episode. Yeah.
Yeah, you glitched out, bro.
Yeah, you glitched out, Jomi.
Glitched out. You know what?
Jomi,
God is good. God is
very good. And you need him.
Yeah, I know why you be up in church every Sunday now,
you need him.
Jesus.
Damn, you need to be sanctified. God damn.
Wow.
Triarchy, man.
Triarchy, man.
Talk about it. Go ahead. It's
We
your
didn't
show.
really need that.
It's your show, Jomi.
That was that. Like again, as finale, literally the other stuff. I think all of it works is a send off for season 3. We're getting right up to like a big moment in the series. The Triarchy stuff. That's where I'm like,
I can agree with that.
I don't feel like that could have been earlier.
Just to start it with a character that we never really cared about. I can agree with that. Just to start
Meaning
it
a character we've never met.
Yeah, it's like
characters.
It's like we never really cared about. That's kind of a Game of Thronesy thing. Is that the only reason why we're even invested into that character is because he's a Lannister and because we want to, he's haughty, we've seen him before, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
He's been around,
Yeah.
but didn't really care about his adventures that much as for him to get a side mission.
And it's pure plot reasons as to why we're forced to be there as an audience because, okay, he needs to glad hand the Triarchy because they need a naval fleet to storm across the blockade, and he's got to get into the good graces of the pirates. He's got to do some mud wrestling.
Was it funny? Did you laugh?
It was funny when she's like, I need you to fuck my wives. And he's like,
that was funny.
I mean,
how many wives do you have?
How many?
Because I thought she was the freaky one at first. Like, I thought she was trying to get down with the Lannister, but she's like, nah, I got these wives out here. Like, they need to be impregnated. And he was like, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Like, tell me more.
I'm intrigued by your proposal.
He about to go into the ship and hit some of that ginseng.
See?
Y'all never used the ginseng?
I just
All right, man. Let's
all right.
Let's get to the main
All
event.
right,
But once again, though, what's wrong with that? You take that ginseng.
it's no animal pack, I tell you that.
Animal pack.
It's no animal pack.
But what's wrong with that? Y'all never took that ginseng before?
Christ alive, man.
Hold on. I gotta call. No. Arjuna, you've heard about ginseng and what it does. It's got good. It's good for you, right? When you take it.
Okay. # get Van some sleep.
Christ alive.
He needs a rest.
All right, man.
He needs a nap.
Charles, Midnight Meter.
Midnight Meter.
Is ginseng.
Y'all know what it is.
Oh my God.
1 terrible 12 off that ginseng super.
Stop.
We never gave. I just remember we never gave our. Did we give our Midnight Meter for last season? Hot D. We didn't do a pod last time.
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
I'm almost certain that we would.
We can look it up.
1 terrible, 10 pretty good, 11 and 12 reserved for absolute game changers. Let's start with the Mint Boys, Jomi. Midnight Meter for House of the Dragon season 2.
House of the Dragon season 2. I think I'm going to go with a 9.
Okay.
I think there was so much good in this season. Obviously, the stuff at Rick's Rest and the Red Toying obviously were great, but I thought the performances, the acting were exceptional this season. Despite the fact that there was, again, not a ton of action, I think the stories and the people carried me through this year. So I'm going to give it a 9.
I am going to give it a 9 as well. I mean, in spite of this season finale, which is really its only, if not its biggest stumble, in my opinion, for the entirety of the season, most of what it gave us was pretty exceptional. A definite step up from season 1, and I think if it carries on this trajectory, it's probably going to be ushering itself with some of the best of Game of Thrones in due time.
I'm gonna go 10. Okay.
Whoa.
But I'm gonna. This was some of the best stuff I've seen. You know what? I meant to say this. I compare this season finale. It's not as good, but it's not. I compare this season finale almost a little bit with the Shogun season finale. The show,
I can see this.
It's not. The Shogun season finale is better. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, good. I was waiting for you to say that.
No, it is better. However, it was still a little bit of of a come down.
Sure.
Underwhelming because they yada yada like you like they about to have a war and they're just like
They're not fucking.
Now, but you
No,
explain
no.
away, but the way that you explain that in front of Yabashige, we won't get into the spoilers, but like that was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can't spoil Shogun. I'm over it.
Well,
This shit
I'm
been
just
out
saying
for. No, it's not on you. You're being Steve.
What?
What you just did was great,
Okay.
and the people out there that were gonna watch Shogun, they owe you.
Watch
Oh,
Shogun.
no, here's the thing.
Guys,
But-
watch
but
it.
no,
You
but
haven't
wait,
watched
Shogun
Shogun.
came on us.
Wait.
Motherfuckers
Shogun
are
came
getting
out
on
in
us now for
fucking
even saying
February or
Wait.
some shit like that. Like, bruh,
Nah.
bruh,
We
if
gotta
you-
have a conversation.
If
bruh.
you haven't gotten around, Steve did the right thing. I would like to praise Steve, the architect Ahlman. He did the right
They
thing.
Now,
get
mark
mad at
the
us
time.
even when we
Mark the
say
time.
spoiler alert.
If you haven't gotten around to Shogun by now, you don't give a fuck about Shogun. I'm sorry. that shit, when did that shit come out in February, March, or something like that?
Came out forever ago.
Bruh, if you haven't watched it now, that shit then made 20 days to the second season. Everybody then got all of them
Everybody they're giving away Emmys now.
they
like,
going crazy. Everybody from Shogun about to be in Marvel movies and go be James Bond villains. They out of here. It's over. I would not be surprised if old girl is a Bond girl. from Shogun.
Yeah. Anna Sawai?
Yeah, I wouldn't be
That's the
surprised.
one,
She
yeah.
up. It's over. It's out. She's done. And you haven't watched it yet. You don't fucking care.
Clearly.
You don't fucking care about Shogun.
Clearly.
I'm
Please
just
watch
saying,
Shogun. It's an amazing
watch
show.
it. We're
One of
gonna
the
do a
best
whole
shows I've ever
fucking
seen.
show just spoiling the Shogun. Fuck y'all. Charles, what's your midnight meter?
Strong 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it was like good
Yeah.
season, improvement over season 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's all up from here, but they just stumbled a little bit. But even if I did not like the season finale that much, I don't think it derailed the entire season. It was just more so I'm like, okay, they still have some stumbling blocks.
The show needs 10 episodes.
Yeah.
I think they need 10 episodes.
I
don't
can
think
agree with that.
The 8 is going to work.
If anybody gets an Emmy from this season of television, who is it?
Emma Darcy.
Emma Darcy, for sure.
Emma Darcy for sure.
Yeah, I
They're
guess so.
incredible.
Awesome.
Really,
Just
really good.
Great acting all season.
All right, that's a wrap. This Tuesday, House of R gives you their epic deep dive on the Hot D season finale.
The House of the...
Okay,
Okay.
shut up. This Thursday, Joanna and me will give you their long-awaited Last Jedi debate live on YouTube. Daddy. And on Friday, Men Edition is back to discuss the latest season of the Umbrella Academy and Tales of the TMNT. You can't fight your power. Teenage Mutant Ninja. On the half
with the
shell.
Bev.
Heroes 4.
With the Bev.
With the Bev.
Bacon and cheese.
Bacon and cheese. We outside.
We outside.
We outside. The Bev. Our producers are Steve the Architect Ahlman, Jade Whaley, and Victoria Valencia. Wow. I never knew that was your last name. Victoria Valencia? You're like a Marvel character.
Jesus Christ.
Man.
Victoria Valencia by day. She works at Spotify. By night, she is Spotify woman. Anyway. And Jomi the Explainer Adeniran, hashtag the Imaginarium of Jomi Adeniran.
I'm glad you guys are having fun.
You're a freak dog.
I'm glad you guys are having
Yeah.
fun.
Jomi the Freak Dog Adeniran is going to be your for at least 2 shows. You're a freak, hashtag freak dog. And when I say dog, I mean DAWG.
Oh, man.
You're a freak dog.
Wow.
Additional production from Arjuna, the Watcher, Ramgopal. Chuck, take us out.
Hot D is over. Van just got in from the station. And I hope for all of you, like Jomi, use a little bit more of your imagination.
Steve, we got to figure out, you got to do the song, bro.
Oh, they're
They're
clamoring.
clamoring for not like us, Steve.
How can we do this? In what way should we prepare?
I mean, it's really simple. We just put in front of a mic, we have the instrumental go, and you rap.
Mhm.
You just
Okay.
do the whole song.
I feel like we could do it bigger.
You feel like we could do it bigger?
Mhm.
Alright.
I don't know
Okay.
how, but we can find a
Okay,
way.
and we'll figure something out.
What
Yeah.
do you want to do?
I don't know. I feel like we need to make it count. Is what I mean.
We
Is
take
what
him
I
down
mean
to
say.
Compton, right?
All
We take him
right.
down, and we film him in front of, oh my gosh.
Just recreate the video.
Just
recreate the
we take
video?
you to Compton City Hall,
Okay.
and we have you do the video there.
Yeah.
Money.
Speaking of problematic things, how's
Why is
NBJ?
that problematic? Why is it problematic for
Sounds like bringing
Steve?
people together.
Yeah, the dude with
Bringing Steve to Compton and having him do Not Like Us karaoke?
That's
I
not
think I'd
that's
do
not
okay.
problematic. They're not gonna fuck with you at all.
No.
Once Steve gets a hair on his head touched in Compton, the whole LAPD in Compton, the whole sheriff's department, Jomi go down there and do it in Compton. They'll fuck Jomi up. Charles, maybe me. They fuck you up in Compton?
Well, I'm certified. They not fucking me up.
No, they don't fuck you up. Like, USA Today.
USA Today.
He was a regular person that
Just
went to
normal-
Compton.
Just a normal guy, man.
Just a normal guy. He liked to LARP. NABJ. It was cool. I feel like Trump kind of ruined it.
Oh, for real?
Oh,
Did he just fuck up the
did?
vibe?
Just a little bit, just a little
Because
bit.
there were a lot of my friends and people who wanted to do different panels, but then they pulled out of the panels
Because they were upset.
because of what happened. And I actually feel like NABJ was vindicated because of how Trump imploded at the panel for having them up there. I feel like it actually, the reasons why you would interview Donald Trump in that type of forum at NABJ, he kind of showed the reason why America needs to see his craziness.
I don't know. From at home.
It's bad.
That shit look fucked up.
It goes either way. Depends on how you look at it. I get it. It's not cut and dry.
Yeah.
But I do feel like they were vindicated. But now that shit kind of put a damper on NABJ as far as I was concerned. But like it was still cool.
You was going to Cubs games?
Oh, it was great.
You were rocking out.
Wrigley's great.
Oh,
Wrigleyville's great.
man, Wrigley. They had-
Pequods? Pequods?
Ever say get some deep dish?
No, I didn't do none of that. I barely ate the whole trip. I barely ate the whole trip. I was running around Lake Michigan about to pass out. Like, why am I? Because I haven't eaten anything. Look,
Nice.
I'll say this. Gotta take you up to Chicago.
Yes,
Oh
you
my
do.
God,
yes.
bro. You know what you did to my Saturday morning? Just
I
ruined
take
my
you up to
entire-
Chicago.
Ruined my entire day, bro.
The
Land
white
of milk?
ladies, oh man.
Dude, you need to
It's like
go.
a dairy farm.
Land
The
of
white,
Lakes
the,
up
the
there?
white, the
Jesus
white ladies
Christ,
next to Lake Michigan. They were like, Jomi.
I can't imagine they were doing that, actually.
I'm telling you, bruh. White Midwestern, see, because that's your problem. You try to go for the SC white girls out here. Bruh. You need a U of Illinois Champagne
He's
white
going
chick.
for the San Diego milk. We need him
You-
that
yeah.
Great Lakes milk.
You need
You know?
Waukegan, Aurora. That's the kind of milk
I'm a coastal
you need.
elite milk. Man,
Yeah.
only.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll be
Damn.
honest with you. I'll be honest with
Milk
you.
only.
Coastal elite, my ass. I think
Chicago's the
Chicago
best.
is just as nice as any of them goddamn cities. Chicago is shitting on San Diego, and I fuck with San Diego.
No, you don't.
Not really. All right. San Diego, cool. I'll shout out to San Diego. A lot of thigh tattoos.